Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just doing some last second setup and I'll get started in a minute. Thank you for logging on. I appreciate you for getting on early, 3 a.m. You made it. Congratulations. I made it. Congratulations. All right. Let's get I'll get started in a second. All right, here we go. That's what I was trying to do. Almost forgot what I was trying to do. All right, here we go. Let's do that. Come on, man. Don't do me like this. Baby, don't do me like this. It's always something, man, trying to get this thing set up. I got to get it set up on Facebook, get it set up on Instagram. So let me finish this Facebook setup. We'll be ready to go in a minute or two. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, there we go. Go ahead and share that. If you're watching on Instagram, drop a note in the comment. Let me know you're on. All right, all right. All right, we'll get started in about a minute. Come on, Facebook. All right, sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. All right, come on, Facebook. Come back, baby. Come back. All right, there we go. What's going on? What's going on? Share, share. All right, let me see if that's shared. All right, there we go. All right, there we go. I think we are good. All right, sorry for the delay. All right, so welcome to another edition of the 3 a.m. Club. Today is Monday, September 28th, and here we are. It is 3:05 a.m. I like to usually get started around 3:30 a.m. to not 3:30, 3:03 a.m. to give people just a little bit of time to log on. So it looks like I'm about 2 minutes late today, so I appreciate you for hanging in there while I get everything set up. So anyway, today I kind of had a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and I was just really trying to figure out, did I want to talk about this? Did I want to talk about that? So I'll just start off with what my initial idea was. So I woke up this morning and I don't know, I guess I was kind of dreaming. I slept, but I didn't really sleep. It's kind of like in between, that anxiousness of getting up, in between that anxiousness of knowing that the baby's going to be up soon and I got to, get up and feed her, and just kind of in between sleep, kind of in between dreams, kind of in between thoughts. And as I was getting up, I was just thinking about how important it is that over the course of not only how important it is, but how dramatic of a change of an environment that we are in right now. And particularly the change in how the accelerated pace and the accelerated change in how people communicate, and how goods and services are marketed and advertised, and then how goods, products, services are connected to the end consumer, and how the end consumer actually decides to make a purchase decision, actually receives that product or that service, and then the follow-up and the continuation of that business relationship. And I think kind of what sparked that thought was thinking about over the weekend. My wife and I, we had a date night, and this is, let's see, it's our second date night since we've had the baby. And going out, of course, with the pandemic, your options are extremely limited, but nonetheless, date night looks totally different nowadays than it did before. And so for us, part of date night is like, okay, well, let's see what's open. So, we drive into the city and we're, just seeing what's open. We find a place to eat, we grab something to eat. Now we're back sitting in the car because you can't sit down and actually eat, at certain places. And then if you can sit down and eat, you got to sit outside, and it was raining and we didn't really want to sit outside in the rain, and all that good stuff. So we're looking first for a place to eat. All right, now we've got our food, where can we go and comfortably sit down and eat? And then after we ate, we spent some time just driving around the city to see, how is nightlife? This is it's a Saturday night. Usually Saturday nights, the city is just really, booming, it's really popping. And, this Saturday night, it was very calm. And it's been like that in my experience, as well as our experience just in driving around the city at different times of the day, at different times of night, and the landscape is totally different. And as we're driving around, we're looking, to see what businesses are still open, what businesses, and not just still open by the time of day, but literally what businesses are still open. And the casualty rate of businesses that are failing, the casualty rate of businesses that are going out of business is significant. And I've been following this for months. Every Wednesday I publish an e-newsletter, and I decided to add a segment in that e-newsletter that essentially covers the part of the economic news, not all of it, but a segment of the economic news, and particularly the bankruptcies, and the amount of bankruptcies that are happening are significant. And we still have three months and 2 weeks to go, and we've already hit a 10-year high in the bankruptcy rate. And so as you're driving around and you're seeing all of these businesses that are closed, is really mind-boggling how the landscape has changed, and then how the landscape is actually going to look when we, essentially come out of this come out of this COVID-19, this global pandemic hole, which is going to be, literally a couple of years before things really start to get back to normal, and certain businesses are able to come back and able, to thrive and to survive. So anyway, we pulled up to this light, and as we're sitting at the light, there's advertisement on one of the bus stops, and it's an advertisement for Nordstrom. And I guess Nordstrom has a new app, and they're trying to push people, to download the app so that they can actually, buy their products. And so my wife was like, man, their website sucks too. So my wife is a businesswoman. She's a banker. Been in financial services for 10 years now, almost 10 years, going on 11 years. So we go back and forth about business, the economy, things like that. And so every once in a while we'll talk about some major corporation, that has a really a shitty website. And one of them is like Macy's. Macy's website sucks. So anyway, when she saw the Nordstrom advertisement, she was like, that's another company whose website sucks. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, this day and age, and considering the technological environment we're in, and considering, that you sell a physical product and it's retail, what kind of CEO is leading these corporations, right? Like a Macy's or a Lord and Taylor or a Nordstrom, and their online presence, their retail experience online sucks. Like, what kind of CEO is at the helm who is not investing in technology? You should not be a company of a significant size and not have invested in technology and invested in your online presence to the point where when a global pandemic comes, you're scrambling, to try to save your business. You're scrambling to try to, attract people to your website. And then when they actually get there, the user experience, the purchasing experience is terrible. It's 2020. As a corporate entity, you should, of that significant size, you should not be at the point where you're still trying to figure out technology. You're still trying to figure out how to, merge your physical retail location with your online retail location, and then making that experience, the online experience, just as good, if not better, as the retail experience. And so that kind of was kind of the backstory to some of the backstory to what led me to, just waking up with this thought that, of how important it is that, especially as an entrepreneur, and especially if you're in a personal service industry, or you provide a personal service, but also if you provide a product, and whether that's a product that you physically make, or it's a product that you're actually wholesaling or brokering, whatever type of business you're in, it is extremely advantageous and almost an absolute necessity for you to be online and to be utilizing online tools, online resources, to be able to grow your network and to be able to grow your business. And actually, I touched on this, a couple months ago, one of the 3 a.m. club editions. But I woke up this morning like, man, the way that people are communicating now, the way that business is being done now, although there will be a shift kind of back to how things used to be once this entire pandemic is over, there's also going to be a lot of it that is not going to shift. And there's a lot of efficiencies that are being discovered, the reliability and the integrity of the internet, and the ability of the internet and the infrastructure to be able to support this environment that we are in is really changing the game. Whether it's you working from home, whether it's kids or students, being educated online and not being forced to, or not having to go onto campus to receive their education, and that elevating the reputation of online education, right? Because before the pandemic, the reputation of going to school online wasn't quite as high as it is now. And now the top universities in the country, the top universities around the world are being supported and are surviving on their ability or inability to convert to an online environment, or whether it's how you actually shop, right? If you've never been a person who has shopped online, or if you buy a couple things online, you're now essentially buying everything that you need online. So there are some dramatic shifts, and people are seeing that, hey, I can save a significant amount of time. When we're all pressed for time and we're pressed for attention, I can save a significant amount of time, energy, effort, resources, whatever the case may be, if I consume my product or I consume my information online. Or at a minimum, I can go online and find the product and find the information and find the resources that I need. And so for me, as I'm looking forward, and of course, that now that I've personally made a commitment to have a presence online, and I'm on here every single day, I'm on here every single week, and I'm talking, I'm presenting, and I'm digging deeper into, actually starting to push more information out there, more, resources, et cetera, et cetera. Excuse me. I can, I have a more clear idea and a more clear understanding of the depth of which that, not only that opportunity, but that threat is there, right? Because if you look at these companies that fail to adapt over time, and they fail to adapt to, say, the online environment over time, slowly, right? Like we're in 2020. We've been in you had a dot-com boom of 90 of the dot-com boom of 99, and then you had Y2K at 2000. That was 2 decades ago, and so you're looking at top companies, top corporations that literally over the course of 20 years have been asleep at the wheel, and it took 20 years for that process of becoming outdated, that process of becoming irrelevant, to actually show itself, and to not only show itself, but to ultimately prove to be the destruction of some of these companies, some of these corporations. And over the course of time, there will be more, companies, there will be more organizations that will show that how they've become outdated slowly over the course of time. So for you, as an entrepreneur, for me as an entrepreneur, you have a clear choice. Either you learn to utilize the online tools and resources that are at your disposal, either to raise awareness about you and who you are, and about your brand, or about your business, or about your product, or about your service. Either you make that all-in commitment and say, you know what, I am going to do everything I can to learn how to utilize these tools and these resources so that I don't become outdated over time. Because if you aren't using them now, you're already outdated, which is okay, because there are so many people who still don't have that necessary skill set. And you have to make that commitment to absolutely do everything you can to utilize those tools and those resources to again promote, to advertise, to raise awareness about whatever it is that you're selling, about whatever whatever it is that you do. And so I just wanted to talk about that, and then talk a little bit about just some of the process that I've gone through briefly. Let's see, we're at 18 minutes, so talk a little bit about the process that I've gone through, just a few of the tools and the resources that I use, some of the things that you need as you continue to develop, or you start to develop that process of becoming more comfortable with utilizing the internet, utilizing social media to raise awareness about who you are, or even if you aren't an entrepreneur and you aren't selling anything, just being able to stay connected. That's one of the things I love about, like, say, Facebook. You're able to stay connected and you're able to stay in the flow of information so that you essentially do not become irrelevant, and not only irrelevant, but you don't become forgotten, right? Like, there are a lot of people who, think about it, people don't really pick up the phone and call anymore, right? Like, I remember doing research on this, and it was like the average person makes like less than what was it? It was like 6 to 8 phone calls a day or something, at most. So when you think about it, people aren't really picking up the phone to call you, right? They aren't picking up the phone to check in, like, yeah, you know, your few best friends. But unless you're on social media, you slowly become forgotten. And for some people, you know, that's totally fine. But then you get to a point where you may need people, and the people that you need aren't anywhere to be found because you've become forgotten and you've become secluded. And now you're, you know, all in your own world. But hey, to each his own. So anyway, so over the last 2 years, I think it's been about 2 years. Over the last 2 years, for me, and this is the process that I went through. I went through the process of what they call basically social listening. Like, if you look at my social media history, there's a significant gap in my usage. I've been on social media, but I haven't really been using it. So maybe 2 years ago, I started to kind of really say, okay, I'm going to actually start to utilize this thing, and I'm going to start to actually commit to it. So I spent 2 years really just getting comfortable with utilizing the platforms and a more frequent basis, a more aggressive basis, you know, developing the rhythm of posting, developing the comfortability of posting, you know, certain types of information, the comfortability of presenting yourself and discussing, you know, whatever it is that you need to discuss, and just really developing a more intimate knowledge and understanding of the interconnectivity of the various, you know, the various apps, the various websites, the various you know, tools that you need to be able to develop your graphics, or to manage your social media posts, or to develop a marketing calendar. There are all of these different things that come into play when it comes to utilizing social media. So many things that it actually, you know, these are actually dedicated positions at corporations, right? Because they're so monstrous, and it's so monstrous of an activity, and there's so much knowledge and information that you need to be able to use it effectively. But nonetheless, it's like any other subject. The more you learn about it, it becomes, it's a finite topic, right? Like, yes, new apps are developed, new websites are developed, but over time, as you learn more about it, it becomes less of a mystery, and you gain that mastery over it. And then at that point, it's just you know, continuing to stay updated on the various tools and the various resources. So anyway, some of the things you need, right? You need a good quality webcam, at least one webcam. You need a good quality webcam. You need a light kit. And a thing on light kits, there are different types of light kits. Make sure you get a light kit that is that is more advantageous for video and not just photos, right? Like, I bought a light kit, and it's a 3-part light kit, and it's better for photography than it is for videography. So there are so many different types of light kits, so many different wattages and things like that. Just make sure you get a light kit that you can utilize more for video, and not necessarily photography, unless you're doing photography. You're going to need tripods, right? You need a tripod for your cell phone. You need a tripod for your webcam. Now, your webcam, you may have a webcam on your laptop. You may have a webcam that's built into your computer. That's fine, but you also need a standalone webcam, so that you can change the angle, you can change the location of that webcam. And then for your webcam, you may need a USB cord extender, because the cords on webcams typically are kind of short. Let's see. There's some apps that you need. Some of the apps I use, like for some of my text-based images, I use Typorama. There's Collageable if you want to put together a collage of photos. The app is called Collageable. One of the best graphic design softwares that I use that I've come across is Canva, canva.com. That's canva.com. And really, just thinking about it, there are social media managers where you can manage your posts. One of the easiest and best ones is Hootsuite. Now you can actually use Canva to develop your automated posts. I still post pretty much manually because I'm not, posting that much in terms of frequency that I'm using a manager. But I have used a manager in the past, and it's actually really good to be able to manage your posts across various platforms and to be able to automate your posts. So Hootsuite is one. You can actually use Canva for if you want to send emails. One of the best email services that I like and that I've been using for years is MailChimp. MailChimp is free up to a certain amount of subscribers. I think the paywall starts to come into play at 2,000 subscribers. So let's see, that's email, that's graphic design, that's recording. Oh, cell phone, right? I use my cell phone a lot for recording. If you're going to record, you're going to create video, you can create all the videos that you need from your cell phone. Just make sure that when you're recording with the phone horizontal and not vertical. When the phone is vertical, it only allows the picture frame or the recording frame to be in that that skinny vertical orientation. But when you actually are recording horizontally, that gives you the most versatility in being able to change the orientation of your actual video. And then from a video editing standpoint, sometimes I use iMovie. iMovie is great if you have an iPhone. I really don't know what Android has built in, but iMovie is great. One of the app that I use the most though is called Videorama. Videorama is free. They have a free version. I use the paid version. It's like $4 a month. It just gives you a few more features, a few more options. So let's see. That's video production. That's video editing. In terms of audio, I've started using a lot more. Audio in my videos. YouTube with the video editing app, you can add and you can record audio overlays over your videos. It's very easy to do, but I use YouTube for my instrumentals. I use YouTube for for any song that I want to do, and then I do that as a recording overlay, and then I adjust the volume to make sure that the volume of the instrumental or the volume of the song does not override the volume of the audio portion of the video. So let's see, we've covered video recording, video editing, we've graphics. In terms of posting, how many times to post a day? If you have under 10,000 followers, you only need to post anywhere between 2 to 3 times a day. A good posting rhythm is morning, midday, early afternoon, or nighttime. So when when you wake up, you touch them in the morning, you touch them at midday, and you touch them at night. If you have over 10,000 followers, then your post frequency has to increase between 5 and 10 times a day so that you can, actually reach people's time feed. So let's see, videos, posting frequency, apps, editing, graphics, equipment. Let's see, microphones. As you get deeper into recording audio, recording visual, you will need a microphone. There are different microphones that you can buy. You can buy a lapel microphone that goes on your lapel, connects to your iPhone, or it connects to your computer. There are standalone microphones that you can buy, connects to your phone, connects to your computer. Having a microphone will allow you to produce a higher quality audio and reduce any echoes that you may have. And let's see, pretty much I think that's it. That's a really good beginning foundation of equipment, really good foundation of the tools and the resources that you need. And then in terms of platforms, you don't need to be on every single platform. now you can be on every single platform, but you don't need to be on every single platform. You need to choose one platform that you're going to pretty much dominate or use the most, and then choose a second platform, and then over time you can continue to add other platforms. But you also want to make sure that for the product, the service that you're offering, and for your target market, that they're actually utilizing the platform, you know, that you're using. And by knowing who your target market is, by knowing where you're most likely going to reach your next consumer, you can choose what platform to utilize. And then depending on the platform that you use, there are different nuances to the type of content that you post, or how you post, or how how you connect with people or network with people online. But nonetheless, it all essentially boils down to talking about benefits, making sure that people are aware of the benefits of your product, the benefits of your service, making sure that you are genuine, making sure that you are actually being you, that you are representing, or that your product is being presented well, presented in an understandable manner. And really, that's one of the beauties about social media too, is just being you. Being authentic, and building rapport and building trust, and just doing it in a more open environment. So let's see, we're at 30 minutes. Went a lot longer than I had planned, but sometimes we do go for 30 minutes. So I hope I was able to add a little bit of information, a little bit of context to you. The bottom line is to make sure that you are increasing your investment of time, your investment of energy, your investment of money, your investment of resources, wherever the case may be. Make sure you are investing that time to dig deeper into developing your platform online, so that you do not become outdated, so that you do not essentially miss the wave of opportunity that is coming, or that is really here. The wave of opportunity being, where are the eyeballs? Where are people's attention? If you want to stay relevant, you want to stay connected, you want to stay in business, whichever of those apply to you, being able to utilize and being able to present in an online environment is going to prove to be extremely advantageous over the course of the next 3 to 5, the next 10 years, and arguably from here until really until you die. Being able to utilize, again, these tools in an advantageous manner, either for yourself or for your business. So thanks for logging on to this week's edition of the 3 a.m. Club. I appreciate you for logging on, and I will see you next week. Take care. Peace.